Welcome back. This is MacKay's Bio 30 class. Yesterday we left off talking about embryonic development in the early stages. Just a real quick recap. In the fallopian tube, the egg and sperm come together, form a zygote. From a zygote, it becomes an embryo very quickly once it starts dividing, doing mitosis, and we'll cover mitosis in the next units. The embryo stage has cells that are called totipotent cells. There will be a Google Forms at the end of this presentation for you to answer what a totipotent cell is. The embryo stage does division and becomes the cleavage stage. The cleavage stage is known as cell division without cell growth, so the overall mass of the cells does not get bigger as it moves through the fallopian tubes. From the cleavage stage, we move to the blastula stage. It's at this stage that implantation in the endometrium occurs, and that's about a week after fertilization. From the blastula stage, we go to the gastrula stage. Talked about this yesterday. The three germ layers form: the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm. And that takes us to where we are now. From the gastrula stage, the next stage is called organogenesis. This gets us up to about the 3-month stage of gestation for humans. And by the end of the 3-month stage, all of the organs are in place. They just need to form bigger and develop, get ready for 6 more months down the line. We also have a term here called teratogens. Another key word that you'll need to look up and answer on the Google Forms at the end. For the next 6 months, what happens is called morphogenesis, where the fetus just develops and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, so that at the 9th month, approximately, parturition can occur. Parturition is just a fancy word for childbirth. Childbirth happens in 3 stages. Those are in the notes. I'm not going to review those very much, but the 3 stages of childbirth or parturition happen. Real quickly, the extraembryonic membranes. I talked about the trophoblast layer yesterday and the inner cell mass. Inner cell mass becomes you or me. The trophoblast layer becomes the extraembryonic membranes. There's 4 that you need to know. The chorion comes to the placenta, takes over the job of making HCG from the corpus luteum. That forms after about the 3rd month as well, which means the corpus luteum is doing its job of estrogen and progesterone production for about the 1st trimester of pregnancy. After that, the corpus luteum fades away or breaks down. The placenta takes over making estrogen and progesterone and continues to do that up until about 8 3/4 months of pregnancy. Another extraembryonic membrane layer is the amnion, protective sac of fluid surrounding the fetus. You often hear in movies and TV and stuff, a woman say, "Oh, my water just broke." That water is the amniotic fluid being released from the amniotic sac. That's the sign that the baby's coming soon. The allantois or the allantois is part of the umbilical cord. It carries waste between the mother and the fetus. And lastly, the yolk sac in mammals, just for blood cell production early on. We don't really have much of a functioning yolk sac like reptiles and birds would. Birds, you can see this chick picture up here. Birds have a huge yolk sac because that's where they get their nutrients from. Same with reptiles, because they don't have a direct physical connection with their parent, with their mother. Whereas in humans, of course, we've got the umbilical cord, the placenta, allowing exchange back and forth. So here is a Google form for you to go to. Copy and paste that, answer those 2 questions, and that allows me to see who's been watching these videos and who's responding to the answers. No, this is not for marks per se. I just want to see who's staying up to date and who's keeping track of everything. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.